I'm Jim Futrell from Potty Casey, North Carolina, up in Northampton County. I grew up in Northampton in a rural community, and my VOAG teacher in high school was my idol, and he went to NC State, and so I wanted to go to NC State. I applied to NC State and to the University of North Carolina and was accepted at both schools, but I got a scholarship to come to NC State. And that's one reason I came to NC State to begin with, but it's the reason I'm so happy I came to NC State. There have been several experiences I had when I came as a freshman. First of all, orientation. They scared me to death when they said, look to your right and look to your left, because by the end of the first semester, one of you will not be here. And they were right. They had 3 to a room in Owen Dorm, and when I was with 2 other students in a room that was made for 2 students, it was very crowded. But by the end of the first semester, enough students had flunked out of NC State that we had 2 to a room. And one of the experiences I had was that I moved across the hall, and there was a fellow that was joining a fraternity, and he was gone all the time. And so at night, I would put a towel down so the light wouldn't show under the door so I could study, because about 10 o'clock every night, all the NC State students wanted to take a break and holler and hoot and do other things. So I was able to get my studying done that way. I worked for 4 years at NC State in the college union, and in fact, I never went to a football game the whole time I was a student at NC State. It was after I graduated that I went to my first football game, because I worked 2 shifts on nights and days that we had football games, because nobody else wanted to work as a page at the college union. And we had a wonderful experience. A lady named Miss Philbrick, Corinne Philbrick, was the one that worked with all the students, and she was like a second mother to all of the pages at NC State's union, which was next to the library on Hillsborough Street at that time. The campus here at NC State has changed so much in 50 years since our class, almost 50 years for us. In fact, the whole area has changed. This was the Dorothea Dix area where the farm was, I think, for the Centennial campus. And I thought it was right interesting that I came back to the Centennial campus today. I met my wife almost 50 years ago at Dorothea Dix. She was a student nurse at James Walker Memorial Hospital in Wilmington, and she had just broken up with a UNC student. They'd been dating for 3 or 4 years. And I called the student director of nursing at the Dorothea Dix and told her that the other girls' schools in Raleigh, Meredith, St. Mary's, Peace, and others were not in school yet, and we needed people to help dedicate Burgaw Dorm. I was president of Burgaw Dorm at the time. And she arranged for me to get 3 or 4 student nurses to come over to Burgaw Dorm to help us serve punch and write name tags for those visitors who came to the dedication of the Burgaw Dorm. And that's where I met my wife. I called her a week later, and the rest is history. We've been married 98 years, 49 for her and 49 for me, since 1962. And we're looking forward to our 50th class reunion in 2012. We've been in a planning meeting today here at the Alumni Center, and we're looking forward to having a wonderful class reunion, and our goal is to have the largest and the best class reunion they've ever had at NC State.